3, start.
Hello children, a warm welcome to our English class. It's a pleasure and privilege to introduce myself. I am Jay Krishna, teacher of English. I am proud to say that I did my PGCTE, PGDTE from the prestigious university EFLU, Hyderabad. And I have also cleared my AP set. In this video, let's discuss the lesson A Truly Beautiful Mind from the Class 9 textbook Beehive. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the biography of the world-renowned scientist and theoretical physicist Albert Einstein and his contributions to the fields of science. Before going to the main lesson, let's discuss the overview of the lesson. Overview of the lesson. When we look at the overview of the lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind, it consists of 7 components. There are, before you read, it is an introductory part. Number 2, reading comprehension, main reading text. Number 3, thinking about the text. It aims to check or test learners' understanding of the lesson. Number 4, thinking about the language. It includes the speaking and writing skills. Number 5, writing newspaper reports. Number 6, poem The Lake I Love in Innisfree by W.B. Yeats. And number 7, thinking about the poem. Before going to the introductory part, before you read, let's discuss the learning objectives of this lesson. Dear children, look at the learning objectives of this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify and describe the qualities you think a genius might possess. Recognize the significance of Einstein's contribution to the scientific world. State the key events in Einstein's life that shaped his thinking and career. Explain the theory of relativity and its impact on modern science. Now, let's move on to the introductory part, that is, before you read. Before you read, who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Who is a genius? What qualities do you think a genius has? In 1905, published 4 groundbreaking papers about light, the motion of particles, the electrodynamics of moving bodies, and energy. Changed forever our understanding of space, time, and the entire cosmos. Transformed the name Einstein into a synonymous for genius. 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns. Dear children, I am going to explain briefly about this introductory part. When a genius is defined as a person who has a remarkable intellectual and creative functions or other natural abilities, and there are many examples of people who are termed as genius, and one of them about whom we are going to read in this lesson is Albert Einstein. Before continuing our lesson, let's learn the meanings of some new words. Dear children, let's learn some new words. Genius, a person who has a remarkable intellectual and creative functions or other natural abilities. Groundbreaking, inventive or innovative. Cosmos, the physical universe. Reigns, rules. Dear children, let's check our reading comprehension. Shall we? Here we go. Dear students, answer this question. Here is your question. Who has become synonymous with genius? Your options are: option A, Albert Einstein's name; option B, Gandhi's name; option C, Wright brothers' name; and option D, none. What is the right answer, dear children? Think and say. Yes, the right answer is option A, Albert Einstein's name. Without any delay, let's jump into the main lesson. Dear children, in this lesson, we are going to read mainly 4 aspects of his life. Number 1, early life and childhood. Number 2, his interest in mathematics and physics. Number 3, his personal life. And number 4, the most important humanitarian aspect of his personality. We all know that Einstein was a genius, that he used his mind not only for the advancement of science and technology, but also contributed a lot for the betterment of human race, which is why the title A Truly Beautiful Mind is truly justified, because he is indeed, he had a beautiful mind. Dear students, now let's talk about who was Albert Einstein. Please listen carefully. Born in Germany, a German scientist and theoretical physicist, researcher in the fields of physics and mathematics. Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. Now, I will give you explanation. Our lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind, is a short biography of Albert Einstein, who was German scientist and theoretical physicist. He mainly researched in the fields of mathematics and physics. In 1921, he received the Nobel Prize for Physics. Dear children, without much delay, let's switch over to the main lesson. About Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Without any indication that he was destined for greatness, on the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. Here, destined means fated, freak means an unusual or abnormal rare person. Dear children, now I am going to give you an explanation of Para 1 in detail. Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, and when he was born, there was no indication that a great personality was born. But on the contrary, Albert's mother thought that he was an unusual child and abnormal child. So she called him as a freak. That was because Albert Einstein's head was larger than the normal size. Before continuing our lesson, let's learn the meanings of some new words. Dear children, let's learn the meanings of some new words. Destined means fated. Freak means a word which is used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look, or think. Uttered means spoke. Dear children, let's continue our reading the para 2 of our lesson. Einstein as an abnormal child. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. He uttered everything twice. His playmates called him Brother Boring, especially loud mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, Maja, he said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" Dear children, now I am going to explain the para 2 in detail. By the age of 2.5, Albert still was not speaking, but when he started to speak, he used to utter every word or sentence twice. He was more interested in mechanical toys. He never mingled or mixed up with other children, and that's why other children used to tease him, calling Brother Boring. When Albert's sister Maza was born, that time also, Albert thought that it was also a mechanical toy. And so he thought where her wheels were. That's why Albert's mother thought that he was very unusual child. Dear children, let's check our reading comprehension. Shall we? Here we go. Dear children, answer these questions. When and where was Einstein born? Your options are option A on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Option B on 10th March 1878 in Bulgaria. Option C on 14th March 1877 in Georgia. And option D on 14th March 1875 in America. What is the right answer, dear children? Think and say. Yes, the right answer is option A. On 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Dear children, I will ask another question. The question is, what did Albert's playmates call him? Your options are option A genius, option B, a dull boy, option C, Brother Boring, and option D, an ass. Can you guess the answer? Congratulations! The answer is option C, Brother Boring. Headmaster's opinion on Albert. At the age of 6, he began learning to play the violin. His headmaster told his father that Albert would never be successful at anything. An amateur violinist and maintaining the skill throughout his life. Here, amateur means doing something for professional enjoyment rather than as a profession. Dear children, now I am going to give the detailed explanation of the para 3. Einstein's headmaster had once told his father that whatever profession Einstein would choose, he will never be successful. But he proved everyone wrong with his creative abilities when he took to play the violin at the age of 6. His mother wanted him to play violin, and Einstein turned out to be a very gifted violinist, and he maintained that skill of playing violin throughout his life. Schooling in Munich. Went to high school in Munich. He is a good pupil, got good marks. People means a student who didn't like the strict regimentation at the school. Regimentation means order or discipline taken to an extreme. Often clashed with his teachers. Clashed means fell into arguments. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. Stifled means suffocated or unable to breathe. Dear students, I will give the detailed explanation of Paraphor. Although Einstein was not a bad student, but when he was in high school, he was against that the disciplinary action which the teachers used to take. He was against the strict discipline that was followed in the school, and many times he used to have arguments with his teachers as well. But at the age of 15, Einstein was so suffocated in that environment of the school. Then he left the school permanently. Before continuing our lesson, let's learn the meanings of some new words. Dear children, let's learn the meanings of some new words. Pupil means a student. Regimentation means order or discipline taken to an extreme. Clashed means fell into arguments. Stifled means suffocated or unable to breathe. Dear children, let's check your reading comprehension. Shall we? Here we go. Dear children, answer this question. What did the school headmaster say about Albert Einstein? Your options are: option A, he would be a genius. Option B, he is great. Option C, he will never make any success at anything. And option D, none. What is the right answer, dear children? Think and say. Yes, the right answer is option C. He will never make any success at anything.